Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Into the Light Divination. Today's video is going to be a chakra spread. That's right. So, if you're interested in that, please stay tuned for the reading. That being said, please remember that this reading is for entertainment purposes only. It may or may not resonate. Only take what resonates, leave the rest for another person to claim. With that being said, this is technically a kofi only reading. However, if you're seeing this before it disappears forever, congratulations. You at least get a preview of what I will have available on Ko-Fi for members, okay? If you are on Ko-Fi and you see this and you go, what do you mean? I don't have many subscribers to my channel currently, so I'm kind of giving a little bit of a preview. However, I also am, pretty much just a little quick preview, but it doesn't last forever. They don't get to see it. And normally it's gone within 24 hours, if not sooner. So with that being said, let's get into this. Let's cleanse the cards, the energy, and the space. Please consider subscribing to my channel, liking the video, and leaving a comment. And we're going to start with the chakra spread, obviously, is what I said. So it's kind of going to find out if anything's out of a line for you, okay? And we're going to go by elements. So fire, earth, air, water, and possibly a collective one at the end there, okay? So chakra spread. Okay, chakras. Let's get into this. So we are going to cleanse the cards, the energy in the space, please. Cleanse the cards, the energy in the space. Cleanse the cards, the energy in the space. Cleanse my energy and my 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 space, please. Cleanse my energy and my space. Cleanse my energy and my space. Cleanse my energy and my space. Spirit guide, guardian angels, ancestors, I ask for you to join me today in this reading for the chakra spread. So the first card is going to be obviously it's going to be for the fire sign. So it's going to be root chakra. Okay. So what is the information that the fire signs need to know for their root chakra? Okay. What is the information the fire signs need to know in regards to their root chakra? Okay. So root chakra. Next is going to be the sacral chakra. Okay. And what do the fire signs need to know in regards to the sacral, please? Okay. What do the fire signs need to know in regards to the solar plexus? Okay. What do the fire signs need to know in regards to the heart chakra? Okay. And what do the fire signs need to know in regards to the throat chakra? Okay. What do the fire signs need to know in regards to the third eye chakra? And then finally, what do the fire signs need to know in regards to the crown chakra? Okay. So I like these cards because they have the chakras on them. So just so we're aware here, that is just why I love using these cards, especially for this kind of spread. Okay. So starting with the root chakra, that is kind of your self-preservation, your survival instincts, and how you seek healthy prosperity and security. So for that, fire signs, you have an out of alignment here. It's crazy because that is actually a root chakra card. So you have the world in reverse. You have a little bit of disharmony in your root chakra. Okay. That's what they're showing here. Okay. Next, we have the sacral chakra. Okay. So how you connect to others through the feeling, desire, sensations, and movement. So sacral chakra, you have the 5 of Wands. So for some of you, maybe feeling a little bit of tension right now. Okay. Not necessarily out of alignment, but maybe some tension in it. Okay. Next, we have the 3 of Pentacles, and that is in the solar plexus. So how you express personal power, will, autonomy, energy, and spontaneity. So definitely for some of you, I do see very focused effort, learning, mastery, recognition kind of energy. Okay. So your personal power is definitely building type of energy is what I'm seeing here for you. Okay. Next one we have is the heart chakra. And that is your ability to love deeply, feel compassion, experience peace, and centeredness. So you have the Four of Pentacles. So some of you need to control everything is kind of how you're feeling. Some of you may need to block change. Some of you have a fear of change. Some of you have a hoarding problem. Okay. And with that, with love, I do see in the heart chakra that may be causing a little bit of conflict, especially if you have a need for control for everything. That could be causing some issues. All right. Moving on, you have the what was it, the throat chakra. Okay, so that is the self-expression, how you communicate with others and express yourself creatively in the world. So you have the death card in reverse. So some of you may be repeating negative patterns on how you speak to others. Okay, and it's something that you may need to pay attention to. Okay, moving on to the third eye chakra. Okay, we have the how you see the world both physically and intuitively, your ability to see the big picture. So you have the Six of Cups, which is a little bit of carefree type energy. So honestly, that's not bad. Some of you definitely like to be lighthearted with a lot of stuff. Okay. And then finally, you have the self knowledge crown chakra, your ability to know and understand yourself, your wisdom, and your spiritual connection. You have the Empress in reverse. So, for some of you, you may not quite understand yourself right now. You may have a little bit of over dependence on others type of energy, maybe lack of progress, creative blocks, or a little bit of insecurity of self. Okay. So moving on, we have the earth signs, starting with the first chakra, going from the root and up. What is it for the earth signs root chakra, please? What is it for the earth signs root chakra, please? Okay. What is it for the earth signs sacral chakra, please? What is it for the earth signs solar plexus, please? What is it for the earth signs heart chakra, please? Okay. What is it for the earth signs throat chakra, please? What is it for the earth signs third eye chakra, please? What is it for the earth signs crown chakra, please? Okay, so earth signs, let's get into this for you. So your root chakra, all right, is the Seven of Cups. So for some of you, this is obviously self-preservation, your survival instincts, and how you seek health, prosperity, and security. So for some of you have endless choices in this department. Okay. So honestly, many of you may seek endless choices for health or prosperity and security, knowing the opportunities are open for you. Okay. So that's not terrible. I like that for you. We're going to do that. Okay. Next you have the sacral chakra. So that is the world card. Okay. And that's your self gratification, sacral. So how you connect to others through feelings, desires, sensation, and movement. Celebrations is kind of how you connect with others. Okay. Traveling, unity, kind of that situation there. Okay. Next, you have the King of Cups for the solar plexus, and that's self definition, how you express personal power, will, autonomy, energy, and spontaneity. So, I see for you with the King of Cups, kindness, wisdom, innovation, all right, is something you kind of express your personal power in kind of like creative endeavors as well. Okay. Next, you have the self acceptance heart chakra, and you have the Queen of Swords. So, your ability to love deeply, feel compassion and energy, peace, and centeredness. So, for some of you with the Queen of Swords, you have clear boundaries. You're insightful, independent, unbiased judgment, open communication, supportive, and honest. Okay. Um, really, that's pretty much self-explanatory there, okay? Moving on to self-expression, your throat chakra. That is the how you communicate with others and express yourself creatively in the world. You have the Ace of Wands. So definitely with enthusiasm, creativity, passion, encouragement, opportunities, that kind of energy is how some of you express yourself, obviously, right? The third eye chakra. Okay, we have a third eye card here. How you see the world both physically and intuitively, your ability to see the big picture. So for you, earth signs, you have the Two of Wands, and that's anticipation, expectations, planning, decisions, overseeing travel, decisions, discovery. Always looking for the next is kind of what I'm seeing. So that's how you see the big pictures, being ready for the next kind of, or paying attention to what's next going to happen, right? Finally, we have the Hierophant, and that is for the crown chakra, and that's self knowledge, your ability to know and understand yourself, your wisdom, and your spiritual connection. So that's funny because religious beliefs with the Hierophant, right? Spiritual wisdom, knowledge sharing, education, sometimes conformity, but not always. You might be a trailblazer. All right. So that's kind of interesting with that. I see for many of you, you actually know where you stand in your spiritual connection. And when you don't, and it's out of kind of alignment for you, you always go back to trying to like reconnect with that. And if you don't, this is your sign too. Okay. Moving on to the air signs. What do we have for the air signs for the chakra placements, please? So, air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What is it for their chakra placements, please? What is it for the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius for their chakra placements? Starting with the root chakra. What do they need to know? Okay, moving on to the sacral chakra for them. Then we have the solar plexus chakra for the air signs. Okay, then we have the heart chakra, and then we have the throat chakra. Okay, then we have the third eye chakra, and then we have the crown chakra. All right, so air signs, here's what we have for you. So we're going to start with the bottom one here, root chakra, okay? So root chakra, we have here self-preservation, your survival instincts, and how you seek health, prosperity, and security. So for some of you, it is the Four of Wands in reverse. So some of you may actually have problems within family or imbalances or lack of roots, insecurity or lack of faith, meaning that some of you actually need to work on healing that part of your root chakra. Understanding some of you are actually in a constant survival instinct mode, and some of you really just need to seek healthy ways to find that kind of like if you get what I'm saying. Okay, moving on to the sacral chakra. Self gratification, how you connect to others through feeling, desire, sensation, and movement. So this one is the world. So celebration, sense of belonging, harmony, fulfillment. So for many of you, how you connect to others through feeling is celebration. Okay, like a unity, celebration, communication kind of thing. All right. Moving on to the self-definition, which is the solar plexus, and how you express personal power, will, autonomy, energy, and spontaneity. Queen of Wands. So confidence, attractiveness, passionate, independence, determination, social butterfly, vivacious. So for many of you, how you express your personal power is through communication and kind of just being you. All right. Kind of makes sense. All right. Moving on to the heart chakras, okay? So for the heart chakras, for the air signs, you have the self-acceptance heart chakra, your ability to love deeply, feel compassion, experience peace and centeredness. So for some of you air signs, you have the 10 of cups in reverse. So you may have more of like conflicts, and I see that a lot because of communication, to be honest. Um okay? You it's not that you don't feel compassion, it's kind of like you mental over heart, right? So for some of you, you can love deeply, but you find yourselves in a lot of domestic conflicting type of relationships, whether it's family or whatever. So that might give you a little bit of a wall barrier. So you may be a little bit blocked there sometimes. Um, some of you, it's more for protection and peace than it is for like trying to hurt someone in a loving connection, right? Some people may feel like that your walls are up, but they might not necessarily be all the way up for that person, right? Self-expression, throat chakra, how you communicate with others and express yourself creatively in the world. You have the 3 of Wands. So finding direction, confidence, expansion, foresight, moving forward, new opportunities, take a chance, advancement. So for many of you, how you communicate with others is you honestly have this confidence about yourself. You take a chance, right? You kind of find a new direction if you're not communicating properly or something, right? That's kind of what I see for many of you. Um, so then we have the self reflection. And that is the third eye chakra, how you see the world both physically and intuitively, your ability to see the bigger picture. So for many of you, the 5 of Cups could be loss, grief, sorrow, disappointment, despair, disappointment, relationship problems, pessimism. Okay. So not all of you, but some of you definitely take the negative and try to transform that energy is more or less what I'm seeing. So you may see the world as kind of disappointing, to be honest, but doesn't mean that you have to be disappointing to yourself kind of energy, if that makes sense. Okay. Finally, the crown chakra. All right. And that is the ability to self knowledge, your ability to understand yourself, your wisdom, and spiritual connection. You have the hangman. So, for many of you, new perspective, self surrender, liberation, absolution, independence, contemplation, spiritual development, sacrifice for a higher cause. So honestly, in this department, I do see many of you very connected with spiritual self or working on that connection. Okay. Um, Lastly, we have the water signs. So water signs, what do we have for you? Starting with the root chakra. Okay. What is it for the water signs? Root chakra. Do we need to know here? Water signs and all their chakras. Okay. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. What is it for the water signs, please? Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Starting with the root chakra. Okay. Then we go to the sacral chakra. Then we go to the solar plexus chakra. Then we go to the heart chakra. Then we go to the throat chakra. And then we go to the third eye chakra. Sorry about that. And then we go to the crown chakra. Okay. So, water signs. Let's move these cards this way. Oh, wait, that way. Yeah, that way. Sorry. I may have flipped the other cards around too by accident. I apologize if I did. Then you just know that the right message was meant to get to you and whatever. All right, moving on. Anyways, let's get into this water sign. So, what do we have for you? We have the self-preservation root chakra, your survival instincts, and how you seek health, prosperity, and security. You have the 4 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles in reverse. So many of you, it's kind of like a generosity, giving up control, reckless spending, okay? Releasing of the past would be for many of you, releasing the past is how you find security within yourself, okay? Your self-gratification, your sacral chakra, how you connect to others through feeling, desire, sensation, and movement. You have the Chariot in reverse. So some of you may have a little bit of lack of direction actually with that. No control or self-discipline. So some of you don't really know always how to connect emotionally to other people. Sometimes you have a little bit of a conflict with that, okay? Moving on, we have the self-definition solar plexus chakra. Okay, and that is the how you express personal power, will, autonomy, energy, and spontaneity. You have the King of Wands. So for many of you, you are a natural born leader, visionary, and entrepreneur. So that's kind of how you showcase your personal power. Okay. Moving on to the heart chakra, you have the Seven of Cups in reverse, and that is your ability to love deeply, feel compassion, and experience peace and centeredness. So, some of you with the Seven of Cups in reverse, that's kind of like going back to reality, understanding kind of the clarity of everything, right? Like understanding. I don't really know how to explain that one. Pretty much just understanding your emotions and really going back to reality. Like if you're too honed into your emotions, you have to access the situation around you kind of energy. So some of you are able to, it just might take you a moment. Okay. Next, we have the Temperance card, and that is for self expression, throat chakra, how you communicate with others and express yourself creatively in the world. Okay. So what that means for you is you have the Temperance. So balance, patience, moderation, self-control, cooperating with others, finding solutions. So for many of you, I do see you having the ability to communicate with others and having patience kind of in the situation, right? Next, we have the Seven of Wands in reverse for the self-reflection, third eye chakra, how you see the world both physically and intuitively, your ability to see the big picture. You have the Seven of Wands in reverse. Many of you may see the big picture as exhausting, to be honest, and I totally agree with you. Moving on to the next one. Self-knowledge, crown chakra, your ability to know and understand yourself, your wisdom and spiritual connection. So you have the King of Cups, and that is the kindness, wisdom, innovation, diplomatic, trust, forgiveness, nurture, creative endeavors, energy. So you honestly, you understand yourself. Let's just fucking put it as it is. You understand yourself, okay? So moving on, let's get into this next part. We're going to do a collective quickly. So for the collective energy, for the root, all the way to the crown. So we start with the root chakra. What is the collective energy, please, here for the root? What is the collective energy for the sacral? What is the collective energy for the solar plexus? What is the collective energy for the heart? What is the collective energy for the throat? What is the collective energy for the third eye? What is the collective energy for the crown? Okay. Excuse me. All right, starting with the root. So, collective energy here is the Knight of Wands for the self-perseverance, root chakra, your survival instincts, and how you seek health, prosperity, and security. So, for many of you, may be fearless, adventurous, rebellious, confident, bravery, energetic. So, many of you may be seeking, honestly, just jiving. To be honest, I'm just gonna say it as it is, jiving. Okay. For the Two of Wands, for the self-gratification, sacral chakra, how you connect through others through feeling, desire, sensation, and movement. Some of you have actually fears, not too sure how to connect with feelings. Some of you may be avoiding feelings, and some of you may be more interested in yourself, to be honest. Okay. Moving on is self-definition, solar plexus, how you express personal power, will, autonomy, energy, and spontaneity. This is the Four of Swords. For some of you, your personal power is knowing when to have some relaxation and just like be with yourself is kind of the energy I'm getting. Next, sweet, excuse me. Next we have self-acceptance, heart chakra, your ability to love deeply, feel compassion, and experience peace and centeredness. Okay. So that would be the Queen of Pentacles. So for many of you, very nurturing, healing, practical homebody, loving, that kind of energy. Queen of Pentacles, she's a very loving character. Okay. Moving on to the throat chakra here. Self-expression, how you communicate with others and express yourself creatively in the world. Some of you have the Queen of Cups in reverse. So a little bit of insecurity, codependency, needing, weakness, shallow, unnecessary drama. So unfortunately for some of you, drama is actually how you communicate to the world. So if you are a creator, this is calling you out. Moving on. Next is the self-reflection, third eye chakra, how you see the world both physically and intuitively, your ability to see the bigger picture. That is the Tower, okay? And this one is intense and set of changes, catastrophe, destruction, tragedy, loss, etc., chaos. Some of you, well, I mean, most of you see the world as chaos, okay? Both physically and intuitively, and it's kind of just working through the chaos to survive, but also enjoy life to the best of your abilities. And then finally, the last one is self-knowledge, crown chakra. And that is your ability to know and understand yourself, your wisdom, and spiritual connection. So you have the Three of Wands in reverse, which is lost direction and planning, lacks vision and motivation, delays, self-doubt, hindrance, and regret. So for some of you, honestly, are a little bit out of line. You don't really know where you're going. Maybe you've lost yourself in something. Some of you are definitely just working on healing or your spiritual connection or something. So I do see it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of like we all get into those ebbs and flows, right? So if that resonated with you, great. If not, please throw it away. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you, and I hope you have a lovely, wonderful, fantastic day, evening, afternoon, wherever you're in the world, and goodbye.